Hello and welcome back to our Christmas series here on A Decorative Home. If you're liking our Christmas series, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have some great content yet to come. Today I'm working on making a Christmas wreath for our front door. I have all of my supplies ready, so let's go ahead and let's get making this Christmas wreath. We have our 18-inch artificial pine wreath, a few different types of picks that I'm going to use. I have two types of ribbon. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these for sure or not. Then I have extra pine picks, just plain ones. And then I have some that have pine cones in them. I have my floral wire. I believe this is 18 or 20 gauge. I think it's 20 gauge. Then I have a couple of like little pods. I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. These I might have to hot glue in, so I may have my hot glue gun out. Then I have some bells that I may use as well. And then my tools, I have my scissors and my wire cutters, as well as a ruler. When I work with artificial pine wreaths, I want to make sure that they're fluffed. I don't want them flat. So I'm going to go ahead and just start working around. Just pull these up straight, working from one side of the wreath all the way around until I get back to where I started from. Alright, the wreath is all fluffed. I'm going to just flip it over real quick and show you the back side. This wreath has two different size circles, and then every so often there are braces in between the circles. Between the circles and these braces is how I'm going to secure stuff onto the wreath using the floral wire. I don't know how I want this wreath to be designed, so I'm just going to go ahead and start creating. I'm going to start off by bringing in these pine picks with the pine cone. I like these longer pines. I think it's a nice contrast to the wreath here. So I'm just going to kind of lay these down real quick. I know I want one on top and one on bottom. So, but I think I don't want them like straight across. I think I want them at an angle. So if this is going to be the top of my door, I think that's how I want it. Yeah. So I'm just going to take the stem of the pick and run it in between the two circles of the wreath. Then I'm going to come in with the branch from the wreath and just kind of wrap it around the pick and then wrap it around the form a little bit too, just to give it stability right now. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the same on this side. Get that in between the two circles, slide it in, and then find a branch and wrap it around the pick, and then pull it in and wrap. Oh, that one's not very long. I have to find a different one. Okay. Grab the pine branch, wrap it around the pick, pull it under, and then I'm right by a brace, so I'm just going to wrap that around the brace. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. So I'm going to be going back and forth between sides here. Now I have my stem of my pick. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that around as many times as I can to the form of the wreath, because this is not gonna come off very easy with the wire cutters because it's really thick. So I'm just gonna get it wrapped around, I think only once. These ones are thick, so they don't bend very easily, but they are manageable. Now I'm gonna go ahead and come in with my floral wire. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half. So my wire cutters. And then I'm just going to come around the frame of the wreath and then the stem of the stick right where it wrapped around. I'm just going to come back in and wrap this around a few times just to help secure it. And then when it's up top, I'm just going to twist it like a bread tie. And then take and tuck those ends of the wire back down. I think I'll come down a little bit farther at the end. With another piece of floral wire. So here is the brace and here is the end of that stem. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in between that stem and that brace at an angle and then keep kind of wrapping it around a few times like that. Get it nice and secure in there. And then twist it like bread tie. And then wrap it until I don't have any end left of that wire. I don't want that wire setting and scratching on the door. Now we're gonna flip it around and do the other side. Coming in, we'll start at the end here, coming in underneath the frame and over top of the pick and just kind of wrapping it around a few times. Now that I got it wrapped around a few times, I'm going to go ahead and twist it like a bread tie and then pull them together and then wrap them together down around until I have no more end. And then I'm going to come in with another half. I need to cut another half. I'm going to come in with another half right here and then just go underneath to the front of the wreath frame and then wrap it a couple times like that. Bring it together and twist it like a bread tie. And then wrap it until there is no more. Now let's go ahead and flip it back over. This is where I want the top of my wreath to go on the door. So I think that looks good like this. I am going to come back in with these now. I think I'm just going to fluff these up a little bit too. Spread them out. I like these ones too. These ones are a little bit different, the texture, compared to the ones that are on this. I don't know, maybe put them at the bottom, or do we just build off the top? Yeah, I think I'm going to go at the top here on this one. So again, I'm just sliding that in between the two. Now we're going to flip it back over and come in with some wire. floral wire. I gotta cut a couple pieces here. And then we're gonna wrap the stem, I guess, before. So this one's a little bit easier to bend, so I'm just gonna bend the end of the stem around the outside of the frame for this one. Now I have the end right here. I'm gonna go ahead underneath that frame and over top of the pick and just wrap the floral wire around it a few times. Twist like a bread tie, and then take the ends and wrap them around. I'm going to come back in over here. I'd rather have it nice and secure, take my time to secure it now than to worry that it's going to come apart when it's on the door. So underneath the frame of the wreath, up around on top, wrap that around like that a couple times. Come up top, twist it like a bread tie. Then go ahead and wrap the ends back around. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the outside. And I have the end right here. So I'm going to come in with my floral wire underneath the frame and wrap a few times. Twist it like a bread tie, and then wrap the ends. Now I want to do it right here as well. I could also take part of the tree branch itself and wrap it around once just to make sure it's extra secure. I think I might do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and come in with another piece of floral wire and wrap around. Twist like a bread tie a few times and then wrap it around. I'm going to go ahead and take that branch and wrap it around a couple times, once on both of these. I think that's just going to help secure it a little bit more, and then also hide maybe the wire a little bit. Okay, so there we have this so far. At the end, we'll probably do all of our fluffing and that more because it's going to get flattened between flipping back and forth. Now, I want to come in with, I think I want to leave these kind of open. I don't know. Well, I've got this cute little bird or owl, and I think he deserves to be in here somewhere. Maybe he goes in with the pine. Yeah, let's put him in with by the pine cones. So I'm going to flip this back over, and I just push that his stick right down into the middle. So I'm going to pull it toward the outer one and then just wrap it a couple times. And then I'm holding the end so I can come in and wrap. This time I think I'm just going to twist it a couple times and then wrap it around. Twist it like a bread tie a couple times and then wrap it around completely. And then come in with a tree branch and Now I see this one is right here, so I'm gonna make sure he's good and settled in there and tight to the frame here, and wrap it around the outer part of the frame. Come in with my wire underneath the frame and on top of the pick stem. Twist it. Now I'm going to wrap a branch around it. Okay, yeah, so as you're looking at the door, he would be looking at you, so just moved him a little bit. Now I have the antlers, and I think maybe I want that like that. I'll come from this side. Yeah, so there I want them sticking out a little bit. All right, now we're gonna flip it back over. And again, just use the stem of the pick to wrap around the frame of the wreath. Wrap that around a couple times. Come in with my floral wire. If you don't have floral wire, you can use pipe cleaners. I like to cut my pipe cleaners. I didn't grab any this time because I didn't think I needed any, and I think I may be out of my green pipe cleaners anyways. After I made my gingerbread wreath, I noticed that I didn't have that many left, so I forgot to pick some up when I was at the store last. Now, using one of the branches, I'm going to wrap that around. Again, just to give it a little bit more stability. Let's double check that that's where I want it. This is basically going in the same direction as the last pick. So I'm going to wrap that around the outer part of the frame. Come in with my wire cutters and wire. Wrap it a couple times, twist like for a tie, and then twist that down, wrap that around. Okay, so there's those. Now I have these Birdhouse Picks that I picked up at the at-home store. I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to come in with my wire cutters, and I'm just going to break these up a little bit, and then I can put them wherever I want them. I'm not going to worry about the pine cone. I can come back in later if I want more of pine cone at the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of push that in there. A couple different sizes. Yeah. So these ones, the bigger ones, end up being a little bit shorter, but that's all right. They'll work. Alright, after looking at this, I decided to go ahead and remove this owl because he just wasn't looking the way that I thought he should be looking. If I'm looking at this on the door, I want both of them to be kind of facing me. So I'm just going to move the pine cones a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and put him in between the pine cones. Nestle him down in there. Make sure he's nice and nestled in there. And then I'm gonna flip the wreath over and wrap the pick around a few times. I twisted it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take one of the branches and wrap it around the frame and the pick stem. Make sure that that pick stem is covered, I guess. There. Yeah, that's better. He's up a little bit higher, but that's all right if it's going to work. So let's see, let's come back in with the bird houses. We already cut the bird houses off, so I have 2 of each. So I'm gonna go ahead and split these up. And I'm just gonna stick these in here where I think I like them. Now, since this one is looking this way, I think what I'm gonna do is put the bird houses kind of that way. Break them up a little bit. I kind of want them to look the same on both sides. And I know these are going to be a little harder now that I cut them too short. So I just might leave these bigger ones out and just have the 2. No, I think I want it like that. So what I can do, all right, let's flip this over and let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna start with the stems that I can see. I'm gonna wrap them around the frame of the wreath. Then I'm gonna go ahead on the 4 that I can find. I'm gonna go ahead and secure those with floral wire. So there's one right here. That's this one right here. So I'm going to use the brace to the frame itself to help secure. This one I'm going to twist a few times before, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap around the middle and then up around the top circle. And then here's that one. Okay, now these ones, what I'm gonna do is use the hot glue and hot glue them. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and figure out where I want these birdhouses. I think I want them. And I have my hot glue gun all heated up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little hot glue at the bottom of these and then on the stem, and then just push those in. The bottom of that one's a little tore up. And then go ahead and push it in. Okay, now I've got a couple spots that I think I want to add some pods. So I'm just going to add glue on the bottom of the pod and then on the stem. And then I'm just going to kind of open it up a little bit and push the pod into the wreath form. Turn this around. A little glue. Okay. The only thing about working with the hot glue is it gets all over. Now, I could come in with some ribbon, but I don't know if I really want any ribbon on it. I don't know if it'll look. This is the ribbon that I use to go into the Christmas planters that will be going on the front porch. Yeah, I don't think I want a bow or anything. I think it's good. I think what I need to do now is just go and fluff everything up. Ooh, hot glue. Fluff everything up a little bit. Make sure that it looks nice and full. Twist some of these other ones up inside the longer picks. Okay, it is all fluffed. I probably will end up fluffing it a little bit more once it's on the door and I can see it standing up better. So let's go put it on the front door and see how it looks.